So yeah, for me, how I got into sports, well, it was just a case of just coming from a family, I believe, that loves sports. I had three brothers and a sister, and so growing up with three brothers, I guess I was a typical tomboy, as I always like to say. And then I went into secondary school and I was introduced to badminton. And I never thought I would like badminton. I always thought tennis was it. Tennis was the ideal racket sport. And I just kind of took a natural, inclination to playing badminton. So I tried it and I started playing, and the rest is history, as they say. How I got into umpiring was really just, I like to say, by chance, or because as a player, every time we would have local tournaments, you would finish playing and they'd always be looking for someone to help umpire matches. And of course, nobody would want to do it. So I would just always be me, and I'll just be like, okay, I'll help do it. I'll help do a match. And so I kept doing that. And then I think the president at the time, they saw that I was helpful and that I was kind of interested in doing it. So they just sent me on a course within the Pan Am region, and that's how I started. And I'm finally now selected to represent at the Paris 2024 Olympics in both the Olympics and the Paralympics. So it's a wonderful, wonderful feeling, because it's, I think, everyone's dream. So really, truly a wonderful feeling. So with the good also comes the bad, and I have had a few personal challenges in my life. Within the past few years, I've lost my mother. I then lost my youngest brother, who was not just my brother, I always say, but best and closest friend. I then, not too shortly after losing him, we lost our father. So definitely I had a lot of personal challenges that I've had to deal with, and I'm dealing with constantly now. Grief doesn't just leave you, and go through a lot of phases. When my brother passed on, it was difficult, because anyone who knows me knows that my brother was my everything. And I can't even remember, to be honest, how I dealt with it, because I didn't even want to at that point continue. But again, I just had to dig deep. I leaned on God and my faith in God. And I had so many great friends and family. I have to say, people were so instrumental in helping me to pull through. And I said again, I have to do this to be able to just make him happy, because he was so happy for me. I remember when I left home, and it was not the easiest thing. To this day, it's bittersweet whenever I come home, because I miss being able to hang out with him. I miss, we were always very comical together, and he's one of the reasons why I do a lot of things, because I think about him a lot and how happy he would have been for me. Honestly, when I heard the news of getting selected for the Olympics, I was in tears. I was in tears just thinking, thank you, God, and thank you to my parents, because I could never have been there without them, and the support that they gave me, supporting me in sports. So I think, I try to use my challenges as inspiration. Everything I do, I think of my brother. I think of how proud he would have been, and my parents, and I just use that to make sure that I do a good job, because I want them to be proud of me and to be happy with the work that I do. Currently, what I'm doing now, so I'm based in Belgium, and I work for Manchester City, or the City Football Group. They own one of the football clubs that they own. It's a club called Lommel SK, and I am the player psychology coach there. So I get to do, like I say, it doesn't feel like a job. I get to work with the players there and the staff every day to help individualize their sports psychology needs and tailor programs. And so it's really a fun environment. That's why I tell people that I never would have thought years ago that a sport would have gotten me an entire career. And definitely I feel fortunate to be able to work with sports. I always say that I've done administrative work. I've been a researcher, in the scientific field, a player, technical official, and a professional. So I've seen sport and I know sport in many different spheres. That makes me happy to know that I can gain all this knowledge and I can pass this on, and I can every day gain knowledge myself, because every day I learn something new and I'm willing to learn something new. And that's very important. I always say to people, always be willing to learn something new.